Hey guys, this is Jay Calderon with Jay Unboxing here with a fight preview for David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant. And before we get into my initial thoughts here, let me know what you guys kind of thought about this fight down in the comments section below. Your picks, your bets, kind of your feel for this fight. What do you think of the sort of bad blood between the two? Whose side are you on? Do you think someone will win but hope the other fighter wins? Because I know of a lot of that going on right now with this fight because of the bad blood involved. We'd love to hear all that down in the comments section below. Of course, please be sure to like and subscribe. It greatly helps out. All right, and a little bit of fight info here. We had David Benavidez taking on Caleb Plant, as mentioned, at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. This will be airing on Showtime pay-per-view in the super middleweight division with no title on the line, but a hell of a lot of bragging rights. And in terms of my initial thoughts, the first one, of course, was what a great fight. Just a damn good fight. A fight that you kind of thought might be missed in terms of its opportunity because the two just didn't seem to ever be right in the same spot for one another. Plant was coming up when Benavidez had a title, then Benavidez loses the title due to kind of outside the ring stuff. Then Plant rises to success, goes a different route, gets the Canelo fight, while Benavidez is kind of looking to rebuild his career at the time. Even though they're both signed with the same sort of, promotional outfit or advisor or whatever you want to call it, they just seem to not quite be on the same page and miss each other time and time again. Yet, due to bad blood and the fact that it's an easy enough fight to make, here we finally are. And as mentioned, I do think it will be a damn good fight, especially because of how personal it is. I do wonder, how personal will it get? Will it kind of come out in the fight, and who does that favor? These are the sort of thoughts that I was having, especially when thinking about this fight, because I think most people expect Benavidez to be the favorite in this fight. He's the undefeated fighter, has some tremendous eye-catching skills that are certainly going to buy him a lot of favor with people looking to put a bet on this fight, let's say, for example. That said, he does seem to be the one that's a little more personally affected by some of the back and forth that's gone on thus far. They do seem to be the more rowdy of the two, the ones a bit more easy to shake up in this contest, whereas Plant, again, don't get me wrong, he's a proud athlete. He's going to take some things personally too, but he does seem to be a little less temperamental about it thus far. You wonder how that plays out in this fight, or at the very least I do, because you do kind of hope they can give their best version of themselves as opposed to kind of getting wrapped up in the emotions of a kind of heated back and forth pre-fight. The final thought I had really was kind of who needs to win more. You look at it and you think Plant already has the loss. He lost to the guy at 168 pounds. If he can win, great. He still has a great possibility of maybe a Canelo fight, but even still he has the Charlo fight. He has options, and he's kind of rebuilding the career at that point, especially coming off of the big Anthony Durrell knockout. Benavidez, on the other hand, is kind of that touted dude in boxing who's kind of this monster, this boogeyman of the division, but is kind of without a signature win thus far. He needs this win to kind of not remain relevant, but kind of announce himself on a bigger stage, on a pay-per-view, headlining it. He needs to win this fight too. So they both are desperate for victory, especially against this guy in particular. So it certainly adds to a lot of compelling storylines for this fight. And for the winner, if it's Benavidez, it's all of those fights you've been calling for, the people that you're, claiming are ducking you, whether it's Jamal Charlo, whether it's Canelo fight possibly. These are the fights you're looking for, and if you can win, it certainly keeps the door open to the possibility, especially the Charlo fight, which again, you guys are under the same banner overall. Charlo, you have to think, is looking for an opponent at some point, so if you can win, make a statement, call him out on a big stage, I think it's a fight that could potentially be made. But of course, you got to win to be able to make that happen. You could have those potential title fights and even some interesting fights at 175 pounds. You certainly have the frame for that division. This opens those doors up for you and announces yourself as a big name that can really be reckoned with in both divisions. So it certainly gives you options. For Plant, to some degree, it's redemption. Maybe you'll never quite have what it takes to beat Canelo, but if you can beat the next best thing, the guy that maybe some are arguing Canelo is avoiding, it certainly helps propel you back into a specific type of light in the sport. This, of course, keeps open a lot of options for you as well. If Canelo is to move up or to vacate a title here or there, it's going to give you options. It's going to put you in the best possible shape for those. And again, you also have the Charlo fight. This is a fight that I think Charlo would think he can take, especially with all due respect to Plant. He's a lighter puncher. Maybe something Charlo would be more comfortable with trying to negotiate anyway. So it certainly gives you, Plant, a lot of redemption and opportunities going forward. And of course, the pride in this one as well is definitely on the line for the winner. You're not trying to lose, especially to this guy. These guys do not like each other. There's enough footage for you guys to check out and find this out for yourselves. I don't need to say too much about it, but it's definitely personal. Nobody wants to lose, of course, but they damn sure don't want to lose to this guy. And for the loser, it's disaster on a few levels. Both have always said they are better than one another. They've always kind of been linked, but not quite fighting one another. This will settle that for a lot of people, and especially if it's a decisive win. You're not looking to be on the end of this one in the losing category, so to speak. You're definitely trying to win, so it definitely can hurt both of their egos as well as their careers. For Benavidez, you will be avoided at this point. No reason to face you. Canelo fight is gone. The Charlo fight's likely gone, especially if you lose a decision where, it's pretty obvious you did lose, you deserve to lose, but you still have something to offer. You could still be a decent fighter, of course. Well, doesn't matter, because not too many people are going to be interested in taking on that challenge. They have no reason to. Don't have a title, coming off a loss, you will be avoided, and that's certainly something you're kind of already dealing with in a lot of people's minds. You don't need to encourage it in any way. For Plant, you really could be in trouble as well. You're too big for middleweight. You can't do much there, so you definitely would have to rebuild in that respect and kind of hope, you can find and navigate these waters as the third best guy at 168 pounds. But you really can't do much more in this division, and you're too small for light heavyweight. So what do? You're kind of in no man's land there if you can't take out Benavidez. So it's, again, of course, you're trying to win every fight, but this is certainly one that I think if you're Plant and you seize the opportunity, you're going to have to try and grab the bull by both horns here, because otherwise could be a lot of trouble for just where you find yourself and how you kind of progress your career. And in terms of what to expect, I think swings, a lot of different ebbs and flows in this fight. I think it's going to go in a lot of different directions just based on the fact that both guys are very skilled. They both can dig down and fight a little bit. They have some nastiness to them. They don't like one another. They're not going to try and lose to this guy, of course. Not that they would try to lose to anyone, but they certainly don't want to lose to this guy. I think this fight's going to go back and forth, especially in the kind of first half of this fight. I also do think it will be a good fight, but it could get rough, especially if it gets a little bit nasty in there and, neither guy's maybe quite having the fight they're looking to have. They're gating each other in a lot of ways, which they could based on the styles clash. Kind of could lead to some of those roughhouse tactics, which can be always interesting and compelling, but can sometimes spoil a fight, so we hope it doesn't get that far. I do think overall, though, it will be a good fight as long as they can kind of get a referee in there that can keep it clean and kind of help them navigate those potentially very rocky waters, so to speak. I also have to say, I do not expect them to make amends, and that is completely fine. Don't have to like each other. You don't even really have to respect each other. Just don't break the rules. Just accept defeat when it happens, and I'm totally fine with you guys still hating each other's guts. It makes for fun fights. Character is what boxing needs. They need colorful personalities, and I think Plant getting bashed for trying to do the gravedigger signal to Anthony Durrell after he knocked him out is ridiculous. That's what boxing needs. It needs personalities. So, again, I don't expect them to like each other after this fight, and that's totally fine. Let me know what you guys think. What are your views on this one? How pumped are you for this fight? Leave in the comments, on a scale of 1 to 10, how pumped are you for this fight? I know a lot of people are looking forward to it. I sure as hell am. Leave that down in the comments below. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at jcaldron_JOB. You can email me at junboxing@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you there as well. Of course, you can also check out the prediction for David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant down in the description box. I'd love if you check that out as well. And check out junboxing.com for news, rankings, schedule, results, betting odds, all of that good stuff. Just updated the rankings as well as the schedule, so you can check that out. And as always, until next time.